Okay, let's get to the boss here. We are pleased to present Mike Adamson, the chief, the boss, Grand Poobah of the AEA. And we are in a very interesting time for aviation. And I would imagine nothing but job security for you, because you got plenty to do.
Let's hope.
Yeah,
right?
there you go. So, state of AEA, where are we at?
We're doing really well. The association is really, really doing well. It's been a rough 3 or 4 years, going back to 2020. You can tell by this convention hall, the classrooms, the buzz. We're back. We're better than ever. The association's super strong. Exhibit hall sold out. We're not reporting record numbers yet, but don't hold me to that. We'll see by the end of the week.
Could be.
You know, when we did the Part 145 rewrite in 2005, we got up there, right? There was a lot of people interested in how that impacted their business. So that was a special year in Dallas for us. Might be hard to eclipse that. I know that was a while ago. Lots going on technology-wise back then too, but we're going to get close. Feel really good about the numbers. In spite of that, the fact that we've climbed back out of this pandemic and had a few years where you just, steady increase. And of course you come to Dallas, and I think I mentioned this in the opening, it's our 8th time here in our, 67 years. And this city just treats us well. Hospitality, of course, but then its location, it's good for international visits. And of course, the Metroplex has plenty of businesses that they can make a day trip here and come see us. So it's working out well.
Yeah, well, the buzz at lunch was kind of interesting. People were talking about how busy they were, how well things seemed to be going, and that just, we were just hanging at the table, just listening to everybody and so forth. So the vibe is good.
Vibe's good.
Like
yeah. Shops have their backlogs. Supply chain issues are more or less gone. Not for everybody, but the hiccups are over for the most part.
Cross fingers.
Cross fingers. And the demand, the economy's resilient. There's still people interested in upgrading their airplanes. And let's be honest, you could tie some of the backlog to needing people, right? With more capacity, we could shorten those up a little bit, do more airplanes. But as long as I've been in this business, I've heard 4 to 6 months too. It's varied off of that. Yeah. But that's pretty standard for a lot of shops. So a lot of them go further, of course, have further backlogs. But yeah. I mean, it seems steady. And this is post ADSB. This is, we're not through the digital autopilot upgrade, but there's a lot of them that have been done. So yeah, it's remained very healthy.
Cool. So what are the challenges?
Well, we have this reauthorization. We have
the ongoing, never-ending.
The ongoing, never-ending. There's some important things in there I think that would help us and help them. Stability for the FAA for the next 5 years is critical, and I think they're well represented here. We've got thanks to the folks that we know and work with a lot. They're here, so that's great. I think there's issues on the certification side. Some struggles with some of our manufacturers getting attention on projects, getting focus on projects, going through some of the procedures that they're not used to seeing. There's been a lot of, I don't want to say brain drain, but there's been a lot of turnover there, and so you've lost some talent that is impacting us getting products to market.
Okay.
And I've heard some of that stress from some of the manufacturers this week.
Okay.
But there's some hurdles to clear there.
Indeed. You folks took a leadership role in trying to correct things that you saw as problematic in the Mosaic rule. Took some flack for it too, because oh no, they're going to delay this and delay that. Well, it wasn't delaying anything. It was a matter of getting things straight. How do you see your role in that now, and what are your hopes for the process?
Well, I think you're right about that. There was perception maybe that by requesting an extension, and initially a fairly long one, don't know that we needed to request that. We settled on 90 days, but I think initially it was, there was talk of 6 months, and that obviously set up some flares, and understandably so. That being said, when you boil it down, there were 9 regulations this impacted, and thousands of pages of documents to go through. We needed some time. And we have this gentleman that works for us that's pretty good at poring over regulations. And I
just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've told the story. I certainly told it to our board of directors and to our staff. We're flying to our European regional meeting. That's an overnight flight, and I'm not seated too far away from this gentleman, and it's the middle of the night, and his lights on over his tray table. He's got a document in front of him, and I walk by. I'm, walking around, stretching my legs. I go, Rick, what are you doing? He goes, I'm reading the regulations. It's bedtime. It's the middle of the flight. You should be asleep. I got to get caught up on this. He's literally reading the regulations as we're en route to our European meeting and sifting through those 1,000 pages. And so when we say we did that and we did our due diligence, that was one instance. We certainly spent time talking to our folks at our regional meetings. We held 2 webinars, one in conjunction with the FAA, to just get the feedback, and then obviously his assessment of those rules and the impact caused us to say, look, we need time out. We need to take a look at this, see what the impact is, and then submitted actually what turns out to be a smaller set of comments than some of the other organizations, 16 pages or something like that. So in the end, I don't know that we were the loudest voice. We were initially with that request. I think, like I said, we sent up some flares, but our comments were echoed in a lot of other groups' pieces. And maybe to answer a question before you even ask it, separating sport pilot from some of the aircraft cert stuff was probably the essential part, because we want more aircraft. We want more aircraft manufactured.
Yay.
We want more products being developed. We want our shops to be able to install them. And if it's a commercial operation, we want commercial level maintenance being done. And I think those are normal requests. And so it's interesting to find out there's a lot of other things that other organizations found in it. And so we're not the only ones. And I think at the end of the day, it all will sort out and benefit the industry. They've got their work cut out for them, though, and I can't wait to see the responses.
Me too. We're waiting with bated breath, because there is such potential for positive change.
Yeah.
If you look at what was originally published, there's a spirit there. I mean, even Tech Pelton said, well, we got more than we asked for, or expected, excuse me. Now the question is, what's it going to be in reality, especially when you get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of potential. Let's just leave it there and hope for the best.
Right. I mean, I think it's got tremendous possibilities for the next generation, attracting more people into the industry, which is, we could spend the next several hours talking about that.
Yeah.
But I think that's key. And
even more if you bring Rick into it.
Right. Yeah. What are you doing tomorrow? So I agree, and I think that's the thing. I didn't want to get lost in that perception just because we're asking for a longer comment period. Is obviously we support, all of the above. The more aircraft, more opportunities, more options for these products, and more business for our shops. And so we just have to navigate our way through these waters, and I think we've at least stated our case.
Excellent. One of the things that keeps coming up year after year, little variation on the theme, but it always comes down to training.
Yeah.
The availability of good employees, good technicians, how to find those with basic skills and train them up to standard and so forth. You folks have done some phenomenal work, especially with scholarships and the like, and providing guidance and training even on site at your headquarters. What's the state of all that right now? How's that looking to you?
We're busy. We're busy.
No.
I'm telling you, it reported to the board earlier in the week. We've done half the number of classes in the first quarter that we did last year at our headquarters. So we are, I'm not saying we're doubling down, but it could be quadrupling down, really. It just depends on the schedule, how that works out. But we're very busy. Our classes are full. There's interest in new classes. There's an you know, sort of this insatiable desire for training. And from the fundamental standpoint, that's what we focus on. These manufacturers do a tremendous job with their product, you know, technical sessions, and we rely on that when we get to the show, you know, to have those delivered. But the fundamental pieces, the regulatory pieces, the how to run your business, how to market and sell, that's, you know, that's our focus. And you know, over the years, we've really done a great job of that. The training classes here are packed, overflowing. You know, and the great thing for those who are watching this and, you know, concerned about, you know, aircraft maintenance and upgrades to their aircraft, if you're coming to an AEA member shop that talks about attending AEA training or AEA conventions, you can rest assured they're training on the latest thing. They're staying up to date on it, and they're fully committed to it. And we've got more than a third of our shops here, which is impressive because we're, you know, in 42 different countries, and there, you know, and several people per shop. And some of them have shut down their shops entirely to come be at the show. So there's a definite focus on training. We're doing everything we can. We added someone to help us with that last year, and really doubling down on that.
Wow. Busy to say the least.
We're busy.
You took over from exceptional leadership several years ago. What has it been now?
5 years?
5 years? 5, 6 years? Something like that. I mean, you had such experience with the organization previous, so there shouldn't have been any surprises. But over the last 5 years, have there been surprises?
Absolutely.
Ooh, tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, so 2019 is when we did the transition, and then 2020, you know, I shut a show down. We've never done that in our history. Yeah. We've talked about that.
Yeah. Well, I remember talking to you about that because it was killing us all.
Yeah. So, you know, and then I think we spent the next 2 or 3 years kind of understanding everything from what's this market look like to what's a supply chain issue to things we just had never experienced.
Yeah.
All the while benefiting from a really good mandate for equipment. You know, the heydays of the last decade ended, you know, right as we shut this whole thing down. So my tenure with the organization has seen everything. Well, I should say in this position. I've been with the organization 25 years now, but the last 5.
Short timer.
Yeah. Still a young guy. But the last 5 years have been the biggest swing in activity and events, and you know, it's been good. It's been great for me. It's leadership lessons. You know, we had a keynote that kind of talked about that yesterday, and definite leadership lessons for me. The fortunate thing, and I have to plug this, is I have a fantastic staff.
Isn't that the key to everything?
I'm telling you, surround yourself with smart people that work hard and know what they're doing.
Yeah, I got the same.
They make you look good, and that's honestly the position I'm in with the folks I have. Truly blessed, great people, no turnover. We've added a couple in the workforce development and the engineering and certification side, and we're doing more for our members than we ever have. So yeah, I'm really pleased.
Well, we've said often in the partnerships that we've had with a number of organizations, which have grown in the last few years, now with media partner to Sun and Fun and things of that nature, that no organization we work with has been as much a pleasure and frankly as professional as AEA has. We were a little concerned when Paul decided to retire and going, oh boy, you know, how's this going to last? And then you came up, okay, we know Mike, we're cool. So, but overall, the organization just seems to be chugging along no matter what you throw at it. Yeah. And let's face it, you've had some stuff thrown at you in remarkable ways.
Well, thank you.
If you had to, I mean, speaking to the general aviation community, the rest that are seeing this, not just the avionics community, what do you want to say to them about the state of aviation technology as evidenced by what's happening in avionics?
Yeah, I think it's still, I'm glad you asked. We've really focused our efforts on workforce development and growing the next generation. So we've been talking about this a lot. As an organization, you know, there's some age in this group, right? And we need the young folks coming in. We've got some schools that are here, and we've been kind of talking about that this morning. It's still very vibrant. There's a ton of opportunity. You will be lured by other adjacent industries with potentially larger paydays and promises of. However, you will not find a family like this a focus like this, an interest like this.
A bunch of crazies like this.
Yep, it's a vocation and it's avocation, right?
Yep.
And this organization and these people embody that as well as any. And we love to go to the other shows, and we're fans of Sun and Fun and Oshkosh and AAA and all of them that do it very, very well. And we have our piece of all of those, but our slice of this pie in this, this avionics world, we're really excited about, and it's a great story. We've got to do a good job of collaborating with those other organizations, telling that story, getting folks interested, and reminding them that there's very rewarding careers here, a lot of opportunity, and that's that.
There you go.
Nothing more to say on that. I mean,
Well, I got to tell you, like I said, we've so enjoyed working with you, but I mean, Aero-News has been covering this industry for 28 years. I've literally been part of aviation since my solo at 14, 60,
so a couple of years.
53 years ago, so forth and so on. It's just extraordinary to me what's happening out there and watching it. But I come here and I always feel fairly positive about the industry and about our capabilities, because in many ways, what's driven aviation has been the technologies you see in avionics.
Yeah, we're the
cool guys.
I mean,
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's easy to say that. The others are too. There's a lot going on in those other groups, and we're excited to go see that. I like that we're early in the year.
Yep.
And then we get to go, be fans of everybody else's shows and see what's going on there. But I think we're the cool guys. For sure.
You definitely are. Michael, as always,
Pleasure.
we can't thank you enough for spending time with us.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 67th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Grapevine, Texas, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors: